Back for another read along for Stormlight, Wind and Truth. Sorry about yesterday. I know it was confusing. If you were trying to be here for that discussion, I had a family thing come up, so apologize for that. But we're here today. Shy could make it today, so that's cool. Hopefully, technically Mexican will be here in a little bit, but yeah. Sorry about that, but we'll get to it. How you fellas doing? Alex, how you doing? You good?
Doing well.
Ready to get into whatever the hell's going on in these chapters. It's a lot to unpack. I feel like with each one coming forward here, but yeah. Aldan, you good, my friend? Looking
Very
chill
good.
out there.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful day here in Brisbane, Australia. So probably be out the backyard. Doing very well. Looking forward to talking about King Kaladin the Wise, which is coming up in Stormlight 5. Let's go.
I hope. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Shy, how you doing, man? You good?
I'm boarding the bus.
Boarding the bus.
Tell me
Okay.
if you hear.
I heard the bus.
Tell
but
me if
you're-
you hear that.
All right. No, you're all good, man. All right, good. All right. So, before we get started, we wanted to mention, Alex brought it up that I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen here. But apparently, as of next chapter, so Monday, the audiobook portions are going to be released alongside with the reading portion. So, I guess we're getting the prologue through 5 and 6, and then we'll get whatever chapters are released on Monday, audio as well as to read. So we'll be able to listen to all the chapters and read them if we choose to. So I think that's pretty awesome. I wasn't expecting that, but I think since that's my preferred way of consuming this, I'm pretty stoked about that. So what do you guys think? I think that's pretty cool.
That's
Absolutely. Anytime my stupid ass can read less, I am pumped.
Me too. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah,
Lazy
I can't
bastards.
I can barely read, so it's one of those. Oh shoot! What? How did I get so zoomed out? What happened? Let me see if I. Am I like right justified here? What they released this weird this time? That's so weird. All right. Well,
Yeah, there's an advertisement off to the right that causes
yeah,
everything to be uncentered.
yeah. I thought I had it. Okay, whatever. I wonder if whatever. It works. It's good enough. We could see it. Everybody could see it if they want. And all right, so we got two more chapters, 5 and 6. Five was a Shallan chapter, and six I would say was sort of a mixture of Shy, I'm gonna mute you while you're on the bus. Is that yeah? If you got something to say, just yell at us while you talk. Thanks. So let's see, what was I saying? Oh, and then so chapter 6 is like a conglomerate of I'd say what Kaladin, Dalinar, and Zeth. So we get some Zeth finally. So I guess first overall, when we get to you, we'll get a quick impression of 3 and 4 since you weren't able to be here for that. But Alex, how you feel about these two?
I am conflicted.
You're always conflicted.
Well, yeah, it's because none of the chapters are like really good or really bad. There's always a mix of both. I guess just getting it out of the way first, I think the prose in this is that probably as bad as I've seen a Sanderson chapter. There's some word choice in here that is baffling.
I actually I don't prose doesn't usually bother me. Most but I saw it. I knew that was going to come up in this discussion because there's a few like that was sort of odd.
Yeah. Let's see what else. I continue to be sick to my stomach every time somebody uses the word therapist. In regards to Kaladin, I could not be more disgusted with that concept. However, I am incredibly intrigued by the concept of King Kaladin the Wise, as Aldan puts it. So let's let's build to that and not therapist Kaladin. And then
That's where the wise part comes in.
yeah. And then as far as Shallan, again, I don't think anything happened in this chapter, so I don't remember it.
Ooh, okay. Okay, Aldan, what you think? Where you at?
I love it, mate. I don't give a rat's ass about the prose, whatever. It is what I expect from Brandon. I don't expect his prose to be fantastic, so I'm not looking for that, and I don't know why you would be. I'm right on board for the Kaladin's arc. I think we've set it up. We've had 6 chapters or whatever, and I feel like we've set up a pretty cool storyline for Kaladin for the rest of this book. I wasn't expecting King Kaladin, but that's a bonus. The therapist stuff, I don't think that's the way it's going to play out, so I'm not concerned about that. Shallan's chapter is really cool because there's a bunch of shit in here that we learned, in my opinion. So, I enjoyed reading it. And also, first impressions, the people writing this Wind and Truth epigraphs are clearly not Kaladin and Zeth. We found that out today.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Shy, what do you think? I guess. Oh, Shy's gone. What happened? Okay, I guess maybe he might be switching over to whatever his other connection is. All right. So I guess where I'm at, sort of. So I think quite a bit happened in the second one. To where at least we know what's happening. At least we're we know the Zeth for sure. Zeth and Kaladin are going to be on their way. I have some things to say about how Zeth is viewed because I disagree with the view people have of Zeth. I but we'll talk about that when we get there. But the Shallan chapter was okay, was fine. I didn't have a problem with it. And I'm sort of I said it before. The prose was a little bit weird, but I don't care about that either. It's never bothered me. But I was just I could notice that people with prose problems were probably going to have an issue, but it doesn't bother me ever. I did find some of the what is this Natum stuff was pretty good with Shallan. So I'm mostly I'm a little afraid because I don't have the uber confidence that Aldan has about King Kaladin the Wise. I don't think that's how it's going to play out, but we'll see. But I also don't think therapist Kaladin is going to happen either. I think that's going to be a red herring. I think we'll get into it. So, but I think I overall I think I was happy with the chapters so far, and looking forward to more Zeth and Kaladin. I am ready. We're 6 chapters in. I'm ready for the first flashback. I think that I'm hoping 9 will be a flashback chapter. It seems like it's time. I'm sorry, what did I say? 9. We're going into chapter 7. I think it's time probably for a flashback. Part of me just wants the first flashback so we can confirm that it's Zeth, because I will feel cheated if it's not. I'll say that straight up. I will be very angry if Zeth is not the first flashback chapter. Even if there's some mixed in there, it better be Zeth. So, Shai's back.
Yes, hello. I'm off the bus.
Fantastic. Congratulations. So, real quick, just overall thoughts about 3 and 4 and 5 and 6.
Okay, so 3 and 4. The Shallan chapter in 3 and 4 I found fairly boring. Nothing much was really said.
Bullshit.
Okay.
What would you say happened, Aldan?
Heaps of shit.
Oh, it's because it proved you right. That's why. That's why you're like bullshit. Okay.
I did like that. I like that part of it for sure, but
The Kaladin part, I liked Wit's and Kaladin's conversation, though not the implication that he should become a therapist, because that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard from Kaladin. The guy is still one of the most mentally unhealthy people ever, and he should be a therapist. No.
Well, on top of it, I need to interject because that's also something we find in this chapter. You have 3 Radiants that have spoken the fourth. You only have 3 Radiants with blade and plate, and one of them you've put on the sideline. I find that totally fucking ridiculous. I'll just say it straight out. Like
I did.
Sorry,
I
go
found
ahead.
that super. No, I actually did read that and go like, we're just gonna say another Radiant managed to find fourth out just randomly. Really?
Well, it was sort of. We'll get into that. It was, a Stone Ward 2, which we have nothing about. So hopefully, which will change with the RPG. Because that's supposed to be a big.
But we should be seeing them in the story.
Well, hopefully we do. I'm hoping that just Oh, is that your bus stop? Sorry. So
no,
I'm
that's
hoping,
a train.
Yeah. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm hoping that the RPG thing is a recognition that he left that out and that was a mistake. So hopefully we see a little bit more of that. But continue. So what about these chapters? What are you overall? How are you feeling about these?
Okay, so Shallan's. I feel like the Notum conversation touches on a lot of interesting things, but doesn't really explore them as well as they used to. It doesn't really go in depth into like the bond and the implications of it and what they were doing and asking. They kind of touch it, but not enough or much. It feels very much like it's meant for younger, simpler people, to paraphrase a way Alex and I referred to it in the chat.
Okay.
And the Kaladin one, incredibly upset because of, like, seriously, they keep referring to Zeth in such a strange way.
Okay.
And not touching on the fact that, okay, so Kaladin's concerns is that he's unstable. We know. And then it goes on to be like, you should help him. As if he knows at all how to do that. And again, Zeth, why doesn't Kaladin question why he, the person who fucking almost killed the guy, or actually did successfully kill the guy, is being sent with him? Seems like there might be some, I don't know, tension.
Yeah, we'll get into that when we start hitting chapter 5 because that's not even that's part of it. I don't have as much. Thank you, appreciate that. I get what you're saying, and I don't even disagree with it. But we'll talk about with 6 what's on my mind that bothered me more about that chapter than the rest. And you guys may disagree, but we'll see. But yeah, so overall, you're I couldn't tell. You think they're good? Do you think they're bad? Do you think middle of the road? How you feeling?
They're concerning.
Concerning. Okay.
Really concerning.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess from there, before we start digging into them, anything off the top for chapter 5 that you guys want to talk about before I try to pick it apart and find stuff to talk about? Anything that pops out? Anybody?
So there's one thing that I think is worth hauling out and talking about before this.
Okay.
And fuck me, I'm about to say something good about Reactor Mag. But in one of their reactions, they had an incredibly deep cut that they pulled out. That in the Way of Kings, there is a death rattle where a person says he must pick it up, the fallen title, the tower, the crown, and the spear. And what does Kaladin walk in and notice is on Dalinar's back when he comes into the room? The colon sign of the tower and the crown.
Bring it.
So wait,
King
what's
Kaladin,
the
baby.
See, so that's something so that's something I've actually wanted to do is write down or go through all the death rattles from those chapters and see if they've applied. Because they're mini prophecies, right? So I always thought it'd be interesting to just sort of get them all written down and go through them one at a time to see if they're decipherable. So what was that again? It was say it again for me.
He must pick it up, the fallen title, the tower, the crown, and the spear.
Yep. That's 100% what that is.
Put your big boy pants on, Kaladin.
100.
He must pick it up. The tower. Okay.
He must pick it up, comma, the fallen title, exclamation point, the tower, the crown, and the spear.
Yep.
Which, to me, if I'm reading this,
yeah, that's got to be Kaladin.
Not only does it have to be Kaladin,
but
that also tells me that Dalinar and Yasna have to die.
Well, Dalinar, Yasna, and Navani, bro.
No,
so I think so. Hold on, no. So I don't think Yasna so much because if we're I mean, it depends what because Yasna dying when the Kolinar throne wouldn't go to Kaladin anyways. It would go to Gavinor.
They talk about it in the chapter why it would go to Kaladin.
Well, I thought that was Urithiru's crown would go to Kaladin, not
that's
what Urithiru's crown.
Right, but that's
so Yasna doesn't have to go. So Yasna is fine, but Navani would have to be out of the way as well because she's next in line if Dalinar goes down.
I'm sorry, you're right. Navani, not Yasna.
Yeah, Navani. Yeah. Shai, if say what you need to, just mute after. That's all. Just because you have some background noise right now. So
yeah, Troy says unless she gives it up to him, she might maybe.
So let's see. So Darcy, hey, thanks for popping in here. The thing that would really disappoint me if Kaladin doesn't have a lot of fighting is that Kaladin likes fighting. Sure, he doesn't love the death, but he does He does have a love for fighting still. Yes, absolutely. It makes him feel a lot, right? I feel like that's one of the things that's been lost with Kaladin here lately, and that's a great point. Is that Kaladin feels like when he picks up a spear, he feels whole. He feels like he's missing a limb until he picks up that spear, and it makes him feel complete. It calms him, it centers him, right. So I feel like that part is missing because it's right now it's been like a tool of war, and well, not even war, a tool for killing, right? But I feel like. And I know now we're bouncing all over the place, but I feel like we're at a point right now is that, and you guys can agree to disagree if you want. I feel like Kaladin is almost like he's gone far afield of the Windrunner Oaths. I don't see who he's protecting right now. Who is he protecting?
Nobody.
Because Therapist Kaladin is protecting nobody. He's trying to heal people, which isn't protecting shit. He's trying to help people, which is great, but it's like, okay, well then why you should be an edge dancer or a truth watcher. Those are the healers. You're not protecting anybody, so you're breaking your oath right now, aren't you? Like, I don't know. Like, am I going too far there or what?
Going too far. He's not breaking his oaths. He's not actively playing them out. So he's not going against his oaths. So I think that's why we had the scene in Rhythm of War when Steel confirms this for him, right? When he's talking to Dalinar at the start.
But but if we're being consistent and like so let me just, if we're being consistent, shouldn't still be like pissed off? Just be going like, Kaladin, it's nice that you're helping these people, but who are you protecting?
No,
I don't disagree.
Why no? Because she was all over him when he was using his powers for bad. Now he's not using his powers at all.
Well, he's not in a situation where he has to choose to use
because he's removed himself from that. So now he's not doing anything. So it's still not using his gift.
Yes, he's not using them. He's not going against them. So there's nothing to break the oath.
Well, he is, but that's what I'm saying. He is going against them by the inactivity of protecting people.
Sworn to protect something.
I will protect those I hate, I will protect even if it's ones I hate. And what's the third one? I will allow people to protect themselves or something like that. he's not protecting anybody. He's not letting like he's
Well,
helping
not.
people, but he's not protecting anything.
Well, but he would. Hang on. No. What you're saying is that if someone broke into the hospital and Kaladin chose not to protect them, then that would break his oath. But by him just doing something different, it doesn't change the things that he's already said that he's sworn to. So you're just going too far with it, I think, man. And I think this is going to change. I think he's been through.
Well, I think it's going to change.
We talked about this like yesterday when you weren't here, man. But the conversation that he has with Vasha in the in Rhythm of War again, where Vasha's using breaths and stuff to fight him when he goes to see if he wants to be an Ardent, right? And Kaladin goes to see, I'm going to do this if I can't fight or whatever. And he learns there. Like Vasha tells him like straight up, no, you still love the fight. So that scene wouldn't be there if Kaladin wasn't going to figure that out and go back to that at some point. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So that's how Brandon writes his books. So he's given us a promise, and I'm pretty damn sure that he will pay it out.
Well, that's fair, but I think there is a legitimate criticism of there's a difference between actively sort of not following your oaths, which would be somebody breaking into the hospital and starting to stab patients, and Kaladin just is sitting there jerking it, or sort of passively refusing to follow your oaths in
He's not
going out and looking for people to protect. And I think that's where the difference is. And there's an arbitrary line that we're just discussing where that line should be.
I just think there should be a comment in here from Syl somewhere going, why aren't you helping out? Why aren't you protecting people anymore? I'm glad you're happy, but you're not protecting people anymore. Shouldn't you be, or something, right? I'm not the writer, but
I mean, it might be a situation that sort of she acknowledges that Kaladin is busted up and broken and isn't capable of protecting people while busted up and broken. So he needs to recover and heal in order to be able to protect people again, is I think the argument that would be made by Sanderson.
There's a scene in Rhythm of War that literally says that if you read it properly. There is.
I acknowledge that's what it says. I just think it's stupid.
Well, that's fine. You can't have opinion. That's fine. That's completely fine. But Syl, he clarifies this with Syl when Dalinar's stripping him of his, when Dalinar's setting him out to through because of battle shock or whatever it is that they call it. So he clarifies this with Syl in that moment.
Oh, hold on. So Darcy says, although wasn't the reason the bond almost broke in Words of Radiance because Kaladin made two conflicting oaths? It was the turmoil in Kaladin. Was it? It was because he almost killed. He almost allowed somebody to be killed instead of protecting him. So he was break. Did he make another? What was he? Did he make another oath in Words of Radiance without knowing it?
He agreed not to
protect. He agreed not to protect Gavilar, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Still, contrary. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I wish there was something in there where just some sort of like, hey, you need to get yourself off the bench here, dude.
Well, I think we have to be careful as well. Like, I think it's an exercise in futility to completely to play out such massive big themes and expect answers in the first 6 chapters of it.
We're just talking, man. I mean, come on. I don't expect answers yet. We're 6 chapters in. We're just speculating here. We'll see where it goes. I mean, I'm sure. I honestly have this picture of how I hope things go when they get to Shinovar. But man, why? Something's going on with YouTube. The viewership's all over the place. All right, so I'm just gonna stop looking. Because it sounds like we got a lot more to say about the second chapter than the first. So let's get into the first one real quick.
Eldan needs to tell you his outstanding theory.
Which one?
About wow, you're so humble. About the Kandra.
The Kandra.
I think there's a yeah. I think Dalinar's horse is a Kandra.
You think Dalinar's what? Gallant is a Kandra?
No.
Yep.
Yep.
Why?
That's because there. We know that there's a Kandra on Roshar. From a word.
Okay,
branding.
I know that's right, but I forget how.
I don't think.
How do we know there's a Kandra?
I think Kelsier says it.
Did Kel, or was it at the end? I feel like Lost Metal. There's like I feel like Sazed says something about there being a. I feel like there's a scene in there where Sazed sends a Kandra to Roshar, but I could be making that up. I know that's true. I don't remember where we know that's true from. So you think Gallant? So why? But why Gallant specifically?
Smart horse.
Well, so all Roshadium are Kandras?
No, well, I mean, I think that like there used to probably be way more Roshadium. Do we even know like what the status of the Roshadium is like now on Roshar?
Well, I know in Oathbringer we see a pack of them. But that's the Oathbringer. So the Roshadium's always been a huge. I know the Roshadium's always been a huge question, right? I mean, you have Spren following them. They're smart horses. I mean, look, I think it would be the perfect spy, right? But I guess the big thing to me is that I like this is because Gallant will take wounds and pretty much be okay.
Yep.
Gallant's taken a lot of if you look back to Oathbringer and a lot of the fights, Gallant has been right in the mix a lot of the times, taking hits and then seems to be unscathed. Where Sureblood doesn't, obviously. Sureblood's gone. But
yeah.
But I guess my only pushback on that is Gallant being a Kandra is now with Adolin. Why?
And what does Adolin do at the end of this chapter?
Oh, his horse. What? Get my horse, please.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that's because he doesn't want to leave his horse.
Well, I know, but from a narrative standpoint, it keeps the horse in play.
Front and center. Yeah, I just think it.
I like it. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I like it. I like that a lot. I love it.
It makes sense. It just is a smart horse. He's always there. You know that the Ghostbloods have got someone close to Dalinar in a sword. How bad would it? You can't have a better.
If you just told me, if you said all the Roshadium were Kandras, I've been like, fuck yeah, hell yeah.
That'd be amazing. That'd be better.
I would love if all the Roshadium were it's just Kandras living on Roshar. Fuck yeah, let's sign. I'll sign on the dotted line right there. Anything that brings the Cosmere together more, has more crossovers. I like any of that shit. So I can dig that shit. Connor's Kings. I'm not sure. Maybe in Way of Kings, or is he calling us kings? Either way, thanks.
I prefer to think he's calling you guys kings.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm not hip to the lingo, so you know, I'm whatever, you know. Let's see. Shai's having phone problems, I guess. I think Sazed might have mentioned sending someone, but I think that was in reference to Hoyd returning to schedule. Maybe. I feel like there's something in there with Sazed, but let's see here. I feel like the Stormfather will be able to know if he's a Kandra. He might not know what the Kandra is, but he probably is aware enough to recognize something different.
Well, you might not say anything.
Well, if he doesn't know what a Kandra is, I mean, he's not omnipotent, so like, if he could just be a weird spren that he doesn't understand, maybe. I mean, you know, because Kandras are sort of spren-like when they're, you know, in ghost form, I guess, right? Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I you know,
yeah. The Stormfather looks at it as a goofy thing that walks on the ground, doesn't fly. What do I care?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Can I kill it with the storm? That's all he cares about.
True. Yeah. So it's one of those. I don't know. I like this. I would be totally cool if Gallant was a Roshadium, or not. Was it Kandra?
Like-
Sorry. If not, I would love to know what's up with the Rashadium.
Yeah, well, I think that either way we'll find that out. It's either
I
way
hope.
either way it's something weird off planet, or we have to find out more about how they work because they're so interesting, man. Like they're an interesting beast.
Well, yeah, it would be nice to know what shard claims them too. I would assume it's cultivation. If I don't think they're of honor, right? I think somebody says they're of cultivation, but I would just like to know why they're the way they are, right? Bigger, smarter, better horses with no explanation, who choose their riders. Sort of. Yeah. I don't know. I Rashadium have always been interesting to me, so I'd love if we get more answers to what's up with them. But
Also,
yeah, so go ahead.
Also, in this chapter, so we find out that the epigraphs is not Kaladin and Zeth writing that book.
In this chapter, or is it next chapter?
Right at the top in the epigraph, it says, as a historian,
As a philosopher, yeah.
Yeah.
As a philosopher, I find them enticing. Yes.
These two are not philosophers.
No, I hope not.
Does that mean it's Yasna?
It could. It could be Yasna. It could be Shallan. I'm just saying. I mean,
it could be.
Well,
It could be. It could be.
I mean, it sounds more Yasna than Shallan, though. That I find them enticing. I think that doesn't sound like something that this line sounds like a Yasna line more than a Shallan line. So
that's actually good. Cool. That's a good call.
I would Darcy doesn't like Yasna, doesn't want to be here. She's just writing down the legendary deeds of our boys Zeth and Kaladin, so it's okay. She can make history of them,
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
there's one line that I think confirms maybe a Steve theory.
Okay, where are we at? In this chapter?
Yep, in that chapter.
Okay.
Let's see. Scroll a little bit further.
Shallan is still fucking radiant. Oh, sorry, bitch. I'm sorry. Look. I don't have nearly as many problems with Shallan as Alex, but I fucking all this morphing.
So it's when Nadam is talking to Shallan about Adolin's fight.
Okay, hold on. Let's see here.
I think it's a little further down.
Yeah, it's a little further down. This was the best part of the chapter, I thought.
But, the great part of the chapter.
I think I love that part, but no, yeah, here it is. I am one person stretched thin. No, here it is. You turned to her, blue eyes meeting hers. I lay on the ground, battered and assaulted, and watched your husband rise in my defense against overwhelming odds. He saved me with no expectation of reward. In that moment, I knew that honor had lived.
Honor. Capital.
Honor. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Honor's
you and I have we have completely different take on this.
Okay, go.
I think it's the opposite. I think this confirms the opposite. I think this confirms that, because there's honor is an attribute of man, and I think that's what Noton is saying here. That because of that, it's worth me standing with you. I recognize the same thing in you as an attribute of what you are, not an external force. That is. Does that make sense? So that's what I think it's referring to. So I think it confirms the opposite to what you guys think.
That capitalization, if it was just saying, honor is inherent in humans, I don't think that's a capital.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a good point.
I think it's sort of both. I think that it's a recognition that men can be honorable. But that honor is still alive in men, right? So that honor still, that he's still out there, hopefully guiding men's hearts, even though like men are honorable, right? So I don't know why both can't be true. I think that I get what you're saying, that it's just the honor of Adolin is an honorable person. So even though the shard is dead, men are still honorable, right? That's what you're basically saying, right, Aldan?
Yeah, I'm saying that it's an attribute that lives. Yeah, it's an attribute
Right.
of humanity, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
we've
ahead.
also seen it in the Fused, like the way that Leshrian like engages with Kaladin. There's a lot of honor about that. So I don't know. I think we've got lots to learn, and I think that I've been thinking about this a lot, right? As in the reason that the Spren like abandoned the Singers like way back in the Shadow days. I'm trying to think about why that would be, and I think maybe it's got something to do with this, like that the honorable intentions of men was just something that Spren couldn't were like unable to not be attracted to, and I think this is pointing us in that direction. Yeah.
So let's see here real quick. Darcy says the Shallan personalities just make me roll my eyes now. Bido says Shallan's personalities are her way to avoid accountability.
Yes, they are. Correct.
It's and I feel like I'm ready to move on. Like let's have Shallan, please. Like let's just.
Yeah, I actually like Shallan. That's the thing. Like in this chapter, we get like the cool part when she's having the conversation, and she's talking about like fortune and like when she's doing her drawing. Like that's I love that when Brando's writing that sort of stuff with Shallan. Like he had the artist type shit.
Yep.
I love that.
I like that. I like that part of Shallan too. That's the stuff I would like more of. It's when she goes and hides and becomes another personality and pretends to be a fucking a sword. It's like, can we not do that, please? I don't. I just eye rolling is I think where I'm at too. I don't want to be. I'm getting close to the point when every time that happens, I sort of my brain starts to check out. Especially now that we're saying that Vale is gone but not gone. Vale is gone but not gone. Really, she's still permeates the back of my brain. She's just not gonna come out in my personality. Like I'm not gonna put on a new hat and pretend to be a different person, right? It's just like, no, that means Vale is Shallan, and it's Shallan. It's not Vale is like. Can we just say Vale is gone because she learned to fucking take accountability for that part of her personality, and just Vale is gone, please?
Steve, if I've learned anything in life, it's that a woman is never going to take accountability.
That's why it's so frustrating. But it's part of the process, though. Like it is a process, and he's trying to do justice to what he's trying to do. So yeah, you can't just like immediately integrate that. There has to be a process involved.
I did. I'm curious to how they think they're gonna do. I'm curious to see how this whole spiritual realm thing works, because Shallan seems to think she knows exactly how to get there, which sort of surprised me.
Of course she does. She's the girl who's the key to everything.
Well, she's not. That'd be ridiculous. She is the It does mention here, like it does talk about her reaching into the spiritual realm to manifest her drawings. Like when she pops back up with the when she's talking about her drawings, where she's got Barda Mishram in the background, sort of thing. Most likely. And so, like, and what's his name? Who's the Herald of Tea? Kelek, yes. Like Kelek asked her, like, do you do this often? Like, do you reach into the spiritual realm? And I didn't realize that's what she was doing to access fortune. I don't even know what fortune is, so I don't really understand that. But that gives us a pretty clear pathway to, like, opens the door.
Because she reaches in. That doesn't mean she knows how to get there.
Yeah, correct. So maybe that's part of like her.
It was just sort of like, wow, she seems sort of just like, okay, yeah, when I get her gem from the spiritual realm, I'll just throw it at Dalinar and he'll figure out what to do. It's like, wow, that you seem supremely confident to do something that nobody's ever done before, except for one person we know of who did it by mistake. Right, Kelsier is Wayne existed in the spiritual realm briefly because of wasn't it because of Kelsier? Or
Yeah.
well, no, I forget. I don't remember, but we don't know of any other beings that are sort of hanging out in the spirit realm, do we?
We know Malishi.
Not really.
We just know, all we know is that Malishi put it there somehow, and
Yeah.
and
So
that it's a two-way street apparently, because Shallan's getting the same. She's getting these figures, this figure appear in her drawings again. So
right.
last time that was a cryptic. Last time that was Patton trying to get her attention. So last time that was a friend trying to get her attention. So then this time you would say it's the same thing, like it's just a different friend. So it's a two-way street.
That's true too. I didn't think about that. Shards are in the spirit realm, yeah. What were you trying to say something, Shay?
Technically, everything's in the spirit realm, kind of. We've just never seen it. I didn't even realize it was a place until this book. And fortune refers to being able to kind of see the future. ATM, for instance, lets you, I think, get some fortune.
Okay.
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 Real quick, Sam 8000 for $5. Just started reading Otherland by Tad Williams. Is really liking it so far.
Nice. Good choice.
Yeah,
Good choice.
I thought it was you lads that said somebody here. I thought suggested
Loves it.
What's that?
Trips all over it. She loves it.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Yeah, I don't know anything about it, so I'm glad you're liking it, dude. I'm glad you're liking it. So let's see here. So yeah, so she's sketching. So she's cheating with her drawings, basically. Let's see.
Which, does anyone else have a slight issue with it being like too spread and is why she does it? Like,
What?
Do you mean do we have an issue with how interesting it is when two Nihil bonds ambricate?
Yeah, I know. Embricate was a weird word. I don't know.
it was
stupid.
imbricate, I believe.
Whatever.
I don't know.
No, I don't have an issue with it. I think it is interesting. So what?
It makes me wonder makes me wonder what the hell else could be done with two spren.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Maybe that's what Isha's trying to find out.
well, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those like, do you often draw upon fortune? Like I don't. So like, I don't know what that means.
It means basically seeing into the future. You go into the spiritual realm in some fashion or another, and you see bits of the possible future.
And something from the spiritual
Is a
world comes
spiritual
back.
aspect in the Cosmere related to luck, seeing the future, or versions of the future?
Yeah.
Is what it says. Okay, I think it's time to have this particular conversation.
Ooh.
We are now 20,000 words into book 5.
We are?
Yes. We have now spent, I'm going to be generous and say 90% of our discussion on these streams talking about lore things rather than plot themes.
Six
Is
chapters
anybody
in-
else starting to have issues with this?
No, because it's 6 chapters into a friggin' book. And plot-wise, I think we've set up a wicked story for Kaladin. So I'm happy about that. Shallan,
It's not
as well. We're going to the spiritual realm. How's that not an interesting plot? We've got like the
Wait,
start of, and you got 6 chapters of book. That seems.
Go ahead, Shai.
everything we've gotten so far, besides the confirmation that Mishram's in the spiritual realm, has been something already set up in the previous book. These chapters, especially compared to previous books, have done really little on setting up or giving new information or about what's going to happen or what has happened. Most of the interesting stuff has been Cosmere related. That's the only stuff I find myself thinking about, getting curious about, because the other stuff either is very lacking or goes in a direction where I'm like, oh god, please don't.
Alan, technically Mexican, what's up, buddy?
Hey,
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're
Yes.
good. Sorry, Alex, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say, I think by Kaladin's 4th chapter of book 4, or is it book 3? He'd arrived in town, met with his family, reunited, pretended to be a regular civilian, had a fight, and called in a boat. Like, I mean,
Yeah, that's
Great.
over. Yeah.
Oathbringer, I think, is the best one which balanced all of that and it was chock full of stuff. I know people have said the first part is boring, but they're wrong.
What about Rhythm of War? Where he's got on. Hang on.
Oh wait. He calls the boat in. Yeah, that's where the rhythm. That's Rhythm of War. He went back to go get his family, right?
Which actually has.
All right,
a
I get
pretty
mixed
good
up because he's back with his family at the beginning of both those books. So, but
Is the consensus this is going too slow? Is that what?
well,
you're saying?
I was just gonna
Or-
ask you
or-
real quick, just because you hopped in
Yeah.
first. Welcome, and then second, just give you a chance to your initial thoughts on these chapters.
I enjoyed them. I think there's a lot of promise. There's also a couple things where it's getting scary. Like I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I really hope I do. I think Aldan's right. I think we owe Brandon Sanderson a little bit the benefit of the doubt. I think it'll be good, and I hope it doesn't go in a stupid direction.
I'm okay right now just because it looks like we're about to set off.
Mhm.
So
I know Alex was complaining about the Shallan chapters, but I thought the world building we're getting there is actually pretty interesting.
I agree with that.
and that's fine. My issue is, I'm now what 3 million words into this series. Like, come on, guys, let's.
like,
I should know.
These chapters they're not that long either, though. We're 6 chapters
No,
in, but these have been pretty short.
You're
like-
not wrong.
And especially like we know there's a countdown to this book too. Like there's literally a timer. You can't start off, guns blazing. Like I think this is going to be a slow but steady build into just full breakneck at the end.
Yeah, so I'm with Stormless here. It's not too slow at all. This is less than 2 hours of reading, and that's probably right. I just reiterate what I just said. I think my reason I'm with it is we've set up where we're going again, whether it's rehashed what's happening. I think we've got through all the conversations now. Wit had his conversations. We know what's happened at I almost called it Light's Hope, but Lasting Integrity. We've rehashed the trial. The Windrunners have arrived, and we know that they weren't able to recruit very many, so that's sort of just the outcome of being there. Like only 12 showed up, and now it looks like we're about to Zeth and Kaladin. I would imagine their next chapter they will either be on their way in some way, or I hope on their way and not there. That would be weird if they're just there. Something's got to happen. During the journey, and I would imagine Shallan and Shallan and Adolin are going to be back at Urithiru and onward with, after talking with Dalinar, figuring out how to get to the spiritual realm. So I think I'm okay just because they are shorter chapters, and I think we're about to set out on the journey now.
Yeah, I think what it's setting up is really interesting. Shallan wasn't insufferable this chapter, and we're finally the most interesting part of her character was book 1, where she's absent-mindedly drawing demons, and I love that.
We were just talking about how that's the best part of Shallan is when she's drawing shit, and yeah, more of that, absolutely.
There is something I'd like to bring up. The Sion. It's brought up again this chapter. And this is
stuck there.
For some reason, it's kind of like, this is the thing I want to bring up. This seems to be the Ghost Bloods or Kelsier's personal Sion, which seemed to, in the prologue chapter, be listening to them by Thunder just going to Gavilar and showing Kelsier for a while. It seems pretty nice. And then we go to this, like, Rhythm of War now, and it's for some reason trapped in a box and seemingly abused based on it unable to leave the realm. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What were you doing to it, and why?
And
Don't know.
They're very similar to Spren, and we've seen some bad things happen to Spren here.
Yes, but it's like, why did they do... If they were... Kelsier doesn't seem the type to just purposely abuse his friend that is currently very useful to him.
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey, I don't give a shit.
I don't. I feel like I'm forgetting something. What did Kelsier do? Like,
why are we confirming this is Kelsey or Sion? I guess is.
Well, it belongs to the Ghost Bloods at the very least, and we see Kelsier using one at the beginning, and it seems to be very shimmy.
He could have multiple though.
Wasn't this is Kelly?
But Wit has one.
This is Kalak has the Sion, right? So we're saying Kelsier gave Kalak the Sion?
No, that'd be the one that Shallan cross, right? The
I'm
Sion.
confused.
That Sion will be the one that Shallan brought with her when they went to Shadesmar last book.
We also don't know what kind of effect being off-world, I mean, for an extended period of time, would do to a Sion either. So, I mean, there's who knows, right? I mean, this is why we need another Elantris book, because there's a lot of crap. I still Aeon Door. Who knows how that shit works? I mean, you're filling up pots and fucking Tress and you making nukes out of it. Like, we need I need more info on Aeon Door and how Dominion and the other one shards actually work, because what is it? Dominion and Devotion. I forget the other one. Devotion and Dominion work, because we have the forgers and stuff, which is all, but Aeon Door, like, I thought it was I don't understand how Aeon Door works. It's supposed to do with geography, and then you can use it off world. I don't understand that, but I don't know. The Sion's off world. We have no idea how they work or what what effect anything has on it, right?
I kind of disagree. I feel like Elantris is the world we don't need to know about.
Why?
The most? Well, because the magic system is just science. You draw runes and you get the magic that way, right? And the more science you are about the runes, the more things you can do. I feel like that explains everything.
Well, but it's also supposed to be more potent.
Also,
location
I'm just pissed that we're getting Elantris 2 and 3 before Warbreaker sequel.
Amen.
That is actually like, why? Give me Nightblood. Give me my Nightblood book.
Yeah, Nightblood would be good, but
the Elantris stuff, like how it works off world, can be probably explained just due to the Cosmere magic trend.
Yeah, just draw a pointy arrow back to the planet, whatever,
Yeah, the investigation
account for distance.
It has to be connected to the location before it can be used anyway. So there's got to be a connection.
Right.
I don't know. Just having Aeon Door in a safe.
Combined with the power. I mean, we've already seen, not the regular magic, but the stamp magic, right, from Emperor's Soul. Yeah. We've seen how that works in the fourth Mistborn, right? In Lost Metal, you can literally change your connection to a planet, right? And trick yourself. You can change your identity by with a stamp and trick yourself into thinking you've been born there and like automatically speak the languages.
Yeah, we see that with the connection manipulation in Mistborn with that translating medallion, and technically every magic system we see is location-based, because they're not even allowed to leave the planet.
Right, but if you can do that with the stamps, there's an easy explanation for why the magic works off-world.
Yeah, it can be done pretty easily. Yeah.
But the answer is just scientific and not super interesting to read about.
Okay. I get it. I just, I don't know. I there are things. It's okay. We don't want to go. We don't want to go too far down that path because, well, that's not what we're not here about Elantris. So I guess is there anything else in chapter 5 that we want to talk about? Other than, of course, Adolin wanting his horse to be flown home. Priorities, baby. Gotta have that horse.
I think.
Why did they only
I'm-
send 5 Windrunners?
I don't know.
Yeah.
They need more for the war effort, remember?
I would assume necessity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's still a war going on. But
Adolin and Shallan are there. Like, I don't know. That seemed odd, if not to make the joke about the horse, I guess.
Well, where and who all they're leaving people behind, right? I don't know who else is being left behind.
Yeah, they're
because
just
they only
taking
sent 5.
they're just taking the 5 most important people, and everyone else is going by boat.
Well, there's squires too, so I think they're going to be able to take more than 5. But still, I mean, I don't know. I think we're to assume that that's all that they could spare because of the war going on. But we also don't know where the Windrunners are being deployed right now. Obviously, I guess all over the world. But I don't know. That's my assumption. That was my assumption, was that that's just how many they had to send. I don't know. That's just what I assumed.
I'm going to call this now because it just occurred to me. I think at some point in the book, Shallan is going to draw Mishram, and her eyes are going to be open.
Yeah, Shallan's gonna. I agree with that. I think
She's going to do what now? Sorry, I missed that.
I think Shallan's going to draw Mishram one of the times in the book, and her eyes will be open or changed in some way.
Okay.
I think Shallan. I think you're onto something. I think I agree with that in a way. Like, I think that the key to getting Mishram out of the spiritual realm is going to be Shallan being able to manifest it in the physical world through her ability to steal fortune use fortune or whatever to peek into the spiritual realm. And I think that's what's been set up here. And that's why I find it interesting, actually, because I think that's going to be cool to discover how that works.
Also, we forgot, but technically, Shallan's also on Fourth Oath. There's technically 4 Fourth Oath Radiants. But we completely forgot.
Is she on 4? She don't have armor.
She's on 4th. I'm pretty sure she's on 4th now.
No, she's not on 4.
I don't think she's on 4.
No?
She's
also,
No, they made a point of it in the next chapter. They're saying that other guy we've never heard of until now was like the 3rd person to reach the 4th ideal.
So it'd be Yasna, Kaladin, and that guy, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure she said 4 at this point.
I don't
think so.
Don't think so.
She's not nearly stable enough to have said the 4th ideal.
Actually, it looks like we don't know.
It might be we don't know. Because the Lightweavers, ideals are so weird,
right?
So we don't know where she's at, to be honest. I mean,
and some of them include quests like Zeth's, right? So we don't. There might be extra steps.
Well, for her, it's just personal truths.
Somebody breaks it down as the first one was killing her mother, the second was killing her father, the third one was killing Testament. And
that would be 4, since the first is the same one for all.
Yeah, so that would be 4 if. So you may be right, but I'm not sure. I don't know.
But like, if these ideals are based on personal truths, like you said, I don't understand how Shallan is even the first ideal.
She's told herself a couple of
She's a special snowflake.
Well, it's like it brings up that's why I don't like what they're doing right now, because technically then she had a sword from the first ideal, which doesn't work.
That doesn't. That doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know. I think we're trying to fill a problem that he met. I think he's trying to backtrack and fix an error because some this isn't lining up. So yeah, so I think you may be right, Shy, but we don't know 100%. There's been no confirmation she's on the fourth. She has no armor. I know she's a light weaver, but she should still be able to have armor as a light weaver on the fourth. So if she's on the fourth, nothing changed from her going from the third to the fourth. So it seems sort of weird to just gloss over it when not like make it a big deal.
Is it possible that her first was with Testament?
What do you mean?
Like the
So the first, so she's
we don't know what level of ideal she was at with her first bond, right?
No, well, I mean, if we're following the rules, she should be on 3 with Testament because she summoned it, right? I mean,
yeah.
So I mean, technically, Testament, she should have been on the third ideal.
So the real question is, what were her first her first personal truths? I like ice cream and I like horses.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I don't like my dad.
I don't like going to bed at 7. Oh, power.
Yep.
But like the Snot News track of the first. Well, so that's another thing. Oh, shit. So I don't remember because was the Life Before Death her first? Was it? It should be the first for all of them, right? Was it the first for her as well? Because I feel like it goes back and forth with her.
She was probably listening to Miley Cyrus and was like, "It's not about the destination."
What's up, Gafflet?
Wait, remind me. We think it's Kaladin, but don't we see someone partially summon a shard blade, but not completely? Like it's a weird phantom shard blade that blocks an attack, and then the spren gets really weak after, but they're not supposed to be able to. I'm forgetting if that was because of the tower or because of Odes.
I'm not even sure what we're talking about, if I'm being honest.
It's just a vague recollection. I have to look deeper into it, but
yeah,
I'm pretty sure this has happened.
I'm not. I'm not picking up what you're putting down. That one's lost on me. So let's see. So I think the Chanarok, the mother question, would illuminate her how her first spend worked. May I don't know. I don't the whole fact that she had a spren when she was basically a child still, it's still not working for me, if I'm being honest. I don't like it.
Yeah, it would make so much more sense if it was just an honor blade that would explain all the problems.
Yes, 100%. It should have just been an honor blade. I 100% agree. 100% agree with that. Especially if it turns out that she is Shallan's mother. If Chanarok, I can't pronounce it. If she turns out to be Shallan's mother, it 100% should have just been her honor blade, and that's it. But I don't know. We'll see where it goes. The whole Testament, I don't know. We'll have to see where it's going. It's just not lining up, which is the part I have a problem with the most. It's just like we're trying to figure out, like we're trying to go back and change history of how Shallan was able to summon a shard blade to kill her father or kill her mother, and we didn't think about how that happened when it happened. Would have been better if it was just a fucking shard blade that she stole and bonded by mistake.
Which that wouldn't be possible though. Remember, you need to hold it for 5 fucking days.
Well, I mean, she could have put it under her bed, or like she could have.
Wielding a blade several sizes.
She has. Do they have to hold it physically for 5 days?
I think so. Yeah.
I thought they
or at least be near them.
I love the idea that this is a lock up your guns metaphor. That there was just a herald who left her sword laying around, and her kid found it and shot her with it.
So Testament barely uttered words, and she doesn't remember. She's not totally severed, so we will find out more memories come out. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. That's my least favorite thing about what's going on right now, and we'll see how it comes around. I think we're building to some answers there, but I need to I hope it turns out better than we're at right now, because I'm not really digging the whole Testament pattern.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't like how it's. I don't like how the past works into that. I'm fine with the double spren at this point. I just don't like that. That's supposed to be the explanation for the Shard Blade incident. I don't think it works. But
I agree.
All right, on to chapter 6. Unless anybody else has something to say about the previous chapter, I need to stand up for a second.
There were just a whole bunch of new names that I do not care about.
In chapters,
What was that?
5?
In chapter 5, yeah, there were like 30 new names of Spren that I hope we don't have to remember.
Where?
Probably not. So I don't know who you're referring to now.
The guy he listed off a whole bunch of. There were a whole bunch of new people.
We know Nodum. We know
Shizzo Sack, and Dre, and all. I don't know.
Sorry, I'm back. Names of Spren. All right, so we have Nodum. Who are we talking about? Who are we?
No Nodum.
No, we can move on to 6. I was just saying there was a whole bunch of new names that I didn't want to remember.
Oh, okay.
Well, considering none of us remember what they are, pretty safe.
I was going to say.
So how do we? So real quick, the Midas thing, Medius or is it Medius? We got a new we got a new name for Hoyd. Do we have any other reference to that?
I think someone's calling that.
Notum and Godaki. Some more names.
We'll go to
Notum is the sailor, so.
Okay.
But Godaki, I don't know who.
Godek? I think you're referring to 4th Bridge members.
Yeah, wow. Dre's a bridge member. Dre's a bridge.
Yeah, you're just Drag and Godek are 4th Bridge.
Okay,
man.
There's already a lot of people in these books. Okay.
Yep, you're fair.
Yeah, but these aren't new.
Just say another Bridge 4 guy walked by. I don't need a name.
Right. So we do have the name Midius before.
We do. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to believe this is Hoyd's real name.
I think it might be.
I still don't think. Wait, no, I don't think so, because someone who's known him before. Remember, one of the epigraphs for the Hoyd letters that's in every book is Frost, the dragon, which was with him during the Shattering, and he refers to him in Saphandrius. I'm not saying that's his real name, but if someone's gonna know his real name, it would be someone from that time.
As opposed to Ash and Kellic, who both call him Midius.
Yeah, it's like this seems to be the alias he went by at the time. He wouldn't tell them his real name.
I don't think Saphandrius is it either, because I think he's confirmed that that's not his.
I thought he said straight up that's not his name.
Wit?
Yeah. I thought he said.
I don't think it's his real name either. But it's like if someone who knows him before the Herald is calling him that, then means it's like no, any aim after that is not going to be his name.
So
I think his earliest appearance is not canon yet. It's the Dragonsteel Prime, and he calls himself Topaz in that book, but that's probably not his real name either.
Yeah, Topaz is the nickname because of the rock on because of his bling.
Yeah.
So Saphandrius is the name Frost and the Shards call him. Heralds call him Medius. Wit is Roshar. Hoyd is, so he's got a man of many names. Who knows? I'm sure we probably haven't heard his real name yet, and probably won't.
He seems private about it.
I think he's going for like the doctor thing. It's more interesting if you don't know his name.
It could also be that if someone knows his name, that might actually lead to someone being able to better track him down or something.
It could be the whole, Dresden thing. My name is uttered, revealed type deal, location revealed type deal. Let's see here. So regardless, the events surrounding the cleansing of Shinovar are of specific relevance. I am doing my best to record what I can to discover Wind's own wording regarding them. Though now that Wind and the Heralds have vanished, I have only 2 sources who can speak of those events. They are my witnesses.
That's Cal and Zeth.
Yeah, unless it's a really purposeful red herring.
That's what is dead?
No, that's Cal and Zeth. The witnesses.
Oh well,
have
the
to-
witnesses are Kel and Zeth, and that
Yeah.
I think that also Yasna it makes for the good, I think, philosopher doing the recording.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I
Yeah,
think,
you already talked about how these 2 chapters basically said proved us
Yeah.
wrong about the
Yeah.
author.
yeah, I the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm liking the Yasna is recording, and they are
Okay.
telling her what's. I'm liking that.
That would
so
track.
before we get too much into the because I feel like there's a lot to go through here.
Look, I'm okay
um,
with therapist Cal, but philosopher Cal,
Nah.
I'm not okay with therapist
I don't
Cal
know about
either, but
He doesn't
But,
care for philosophy.
so real quick,
Well, actually,
okay, so go ahead. Go ahead, Adam, before I say what I'm going to say, because you guys may disagree with what I'm
no.
about to say, but I feel pretty strongly.
No.
I the only, and I may be on an island here. Chat, you tell me. We got 15. We're at 20. We have 15 in chat. Thanks for being here, guys, and gals, if there are any. Thank you. I don't feel like Zeth is crazy.
No.
I agree
So
with you.
why?
Not lately.
I think Zeth. No. I don't think Zeth was ever crazy. I think he's the only one that knows exactly what he's doing and why.
Yeah.
I don't think they refer to him as troubled and crazy and broken. I don't think he's broken or crazy at all. He
I would
knows
say
exactly
I would
why.
say troubled for sure, but not crazy.
Yeah, he's upset, and you know what he's gonna do? He's upset because the bastards that lied to him and used him are fucking assholes, and they're fucking up Shinovar. So he's gonna go cleanse their asses.
He's
I
having
don't think
he's having a
crazy at
crisis
all.
of faith, not it's not a sanity thing.
Yeah, so them referring to him as crazy
Um,
and Kaladin needs to fix him, I don't think
That's-
is accurate in the least.
That's just their
I think a
perspective.
crisis of faith can make someone insane for a while until they resolve things.
But he's not
Him
acting
being crazy
insane
doesn't
at
mean
all.
he's permanently so.
I mean,
But
his
he's- no.
his faith
I mean,
was pretty messed up though. Like as far as like cults go, that was pretty extreme.
Well, I just
And that's Alan talking.
Hey, Mormons are not. We're not. It's not a cult. Okay.
you know, and maybe that's it, Darcy.
We
Maybe it's
only
because he's
rarely
closed off.
sacrifice goats.
Look,
That's
as long
like
as,
a special occasion. That's like a Christmas thing. Okay.
as long as it's less than 4 a year, you're fine.
What Darcy said, I reckon is pretty spot on, guys. Because and also Zeth thinks he's crazy, but I don't think he is crazy. So like,
No, I
agree
don't
with
think
Steve.
he's crazy at all. I think he has a reason behind everything he's done. He's been
Telling you
duped and he's been used, but I don't think that makes him crazy. I think that makes him, troubled, upset. I think upset, angry, maybe. Obviously angry, but I don't think he's like a lunatic about to lose control that needs therapy. I mean, I think he knows exactly why things are happening to him, and I think because he's actually a person who follows the rules, and his oath stone said that he was told this, he broke a code, his people told him that he was wrong, he was being punished, this oath stone was his punishment, you need to do this, and then his oath stone fell into a guy's hands that made him do things that he didn't want to the point where he's actually even like, somebody needs to kill my ass because this shit is bad, and I don't want to be doing it, but I have to because this is my punishment. So I hope somebody will finally kill me because this is bad. Like, I don't think any of that's crazy. I think that's all very lucid and right.
Yep.
I think you still might need to reread Words of Radiant and how he's acting. Because again, I don't think he's crazy now. I think he was definitely getting there at book 2. Where he genuinely did not fucking know what to do with himself.
And I agree to an extent with that, but we're 2 books removed from that now.
There was a reason for that, too.
It's bizarre that they've. Well, actually, it's not bizarre. The decision that everybody in this book is going to be a neurodivergent problem child seems to have come for Zeth now. When Zeth is obsessive, Zeth is a whack job, but he's not. You need to talk him out of his religion. You don't need to talk him out of hiding from the thunder and
Yeah.
jumping under the bed when that comes. Like there's two different things here.
Yeah, I hate how they use the words Zeth has severe mental trauma. One, just coming from Cal. That sounds weird. But two,
It's worse
that is
than
not like
That's coming from Blackthorn. The Blackthorn is using 21st century lefty HR speak.
Well, but so I think the thing, and I think Darcy said it again. I think the thing that maybe and maybe I need to look at is from our point of view. No, not crazy. But if you think about maybe from some of the characters' point of view who haven't seen everything we've seen, maybe he seems crazy and he's not sharing. He's very closed off and quiet. So,
and I hope we get that. I hope Kaladin tries to open up to him and realize, oh no, you're not. You don't need my help. You need a buddy cop adventure. Let's go.
Yes, 100%. I'm there for that. So, but I just wanted to add because I just want to make sure I wasn't like nuts and thinking like I don't see him as fucking nuts. But
like if anyone in this universe needs a therapist, it's not Zeth, it's Shallan.
Shallan.
Which would kind of bring these books full circle if we get therapist Cal treating Shallan, and every time she comes in, he takes away your shoes.
Well, I think she needs a team of psychologists and lots of drugs. And so
she needs a baseball practice.
A lobotomy.
Yeah, that might be.
Oh
be
yeah,
it,
Darcy. Yeah, Nightblood needs to start talking to Kaladin. That would be fun.
That would be great. I would fucking love that. I don't see why not.
No,
either.
If Kaladin doesn't at some point wield Nightblood,
yes,
huge missed opportunity.
So so that's exactly what needs to happen. Is Kaladin
he doesn't need to keep it; he needs to use it.
I think, or even use it maybe too, but he just needs to at least take a peek. And then Nightblood's gonna be like, "Yo, you want to go? Let's go kill some shit." And he's gonna be like, "What?" He's like, "What?" Right? Because right. So I hope that happens. That would be great. If
I don't think it's gonna. I think Kaladin will feel too sick if he ever tries to hold it.
Maybe, but I don't think there's anything that. I mean, does
get over it, Cal?
Does Nightblood even need to, Nightblood can talk to him without being held anyways.
Yeah.
So
no, I think you need to have held it for at least a little bit, because that's what happened with Lift.
I don't think Vivenna holds Nightblood at all before he starts talking to her, and that's the origin. So,
yep.
Vivenna doesn't touch Nightblood, and he starts talking to him. So, yeah, so
he's just kind of shy. He doesn't like talking to people.
Okay, Darcy. My dream is you have shard blades. You have Spren shard blade in one hand, Nightblood in the other hand, and Zeth is just chopping chin heads off. Make it happen.
Yes.
I think what's more likely to happen is that he's gonna get the Windrunner blade back somehow.
I would hope so. I mean,
who has that, Kalik?
No.
That would be Moshe. Moshe has that now.
Moshe has it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how. So that's I don't know. Well, Alex, what were you saying, man?
I'm going to say, when you're talking about dual wielding shard blades and Nightblood, when they talk about the cleansing of Shinovar, this better not be. We got all of the corrupt politicians and arrested them. This better be a cleansing in the biblical sense.
Yes, 100%. We need heads. We need fuck. I don't understand why we think it's more likely that Zeth will claim an honor blade from a high-ranked fuse than for him to speak his third. Well, he's already spoken his third.
No, Cal. I think Cal might get the Windrunner blade back.
So you're saying it's more likely that Cal will dual wield the honor blade in Syl before Zeth does Nightblood in his spread?
No, you said Kaladin and Nightblood. I think Kaladin's more likely to get the Windrunner blade versus Nightblood.
Oh, well, I meant Zeth dual wielding his Spren blade and Nightblood.
That will happen. That'll make sense. I also think Zeth might wield some honor blades because he has training in all of them, and there are several there.
Yeah, well, they need to reclaim all. Hopefully, they get their hands. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. Hopefully, they get their hands on all those. That'll be a big deal. But so okay. So let's see here. So I didn't realize that Kaladin didn't know yet that Zeth was going with them, or that they were going together.
Same.
I,
It makes.
I,
It's like you're
Go ahead.
told you're going to Shinovar. You'd assume.
yeah,
You should have guessed.
Yeah, I so that sort of it was so not sure, whatever, but so let's see here. Let's see. I return to my homeland to set right what is wrong, to cleanse an evil, to achieve the fourth ideal.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Cleanse that shit. So let's see here. So then took in a step closer down and turning back his back to Zeth. I don't understand why this line makes him say, "This man is not stable."
Because Brandon Sanderson is made uncomfortable by the word crusade. When he hears the word crusade, he thinks religious radical, and so he applies that to Kaladin.
Fucking bullshit. It's not. Why is it unreasonable for Kaladin? Why is it unreasonable for Kaladin to think that it's unstable for a bloody assassin that spent the last
Tried to kill the king.
killing every single monarch in the fucking
Did
planet,
kill one of the kings. Tried to
And
kill
then
the
just-
current king.
and then just
Well,
softly says, "I'm going to go," and then
The-
just softly says, "I'm going to go home and commit genocide and kill everyone." So that
Yeah,
I
what
guess you're right.
It's this huge dichotomy, this breakdown, and we see it in this chapter as well, where Syl says, your homeland is not just captured by the enemy; it's also
Enemy.
held by their civilians, and this causes Kaladin to have this big freak out. Because he's off put by the thought of taking back his homeland. Whereas then he sees Zeth, who has the conclusion, my homeland has also been taken over. I'm going to go do something about it. So there's this significant breakdown. Both of their homelands are conquered, and Cal is freaked out about it.
It's not the same thing. He's talking to a bloke who just took the heads of every monarch on the planet, who says, "I'm going to go home and commit genocide." It's not the same thing.
But hold on. Is Kaladin? So hold on. I understand. Yes, he went, but we all know why. Does Kaladin not know why Zeth did what he did?
Nope, not really.
So
Most of the characters don't really understand it.
Nobody's filled Kaladin, the lead, the number one.
Kaladin
windrunner.
hasn't really
Hold
been
on,
with
hold on.
Dalinar for a while, right? Like,
Well, no,
they
even
had
if-
their
even
separate
if he is-
adventures.
Hold on. Calm down. Hold on. Let me finish. Number one windrunner, most trusted Radiant to Dalinar Kholin, depended on for everything. He has not informed Kaladin, Stormblessed. The only fucking weapon he has in his goddamn arsenal right now, that's fully powered. The one he's sending him on a solo mission with, he hasn't told him why Zeth did what he did. I find that to be a fucking problem. Like and if you explain what happened, then that changes the conversation quite a bit. It's yes, 100%. Nothing Zeth did was crazy. Not one
Doesn't
thing
mean
he
Cal
did was
will-
crazy.
Cal hearing
Assassins
that
are
he
crazy.
Cal hearing about a guy who listened to anyone who held a particular stone is not going to convince him that he is more trustworthy. It's not. Cal will
going to
definitely be
explain-
like, "What the fuck?" Because Cal's
Because it's Kaladin's way, because Kaladin's way of thinking is the only way of thinking. Is that what we're saying? Because
No.
like he did, because he did. So
that's going to be how Cal feels.
The people lay reverence to the weirdest shit all over the world. Does he know? Does he know how the people of Shinovar live, or the weight put on an oath stone? He gave an oath. He gave an oath. Hold on. Roshar is about oaths, okay? Sprinter about oaths. He gave an oath. He was put on an oath stone that whoever holds this, I am to do what he says. Just because the oath stone ended up in a dirtbag's fucking lap doesn't mean that that's Seth's fault. He's following through with the oath that he gave. So why does that make him crazy?
Steve, this is a conversation you should be having with Kaladin, because he's the one you need to convince.
Well,
remember, he's a person who does not listen to authority.
Nobody's had this conversation with Kaladin. You're
Why
about to
would
send
they?
him off. Nobody said, "Hey,
I think
Kaladin,
this is
I
the
need to
conversation.
tell you something. What's going on? With Zeth before I send you off with him, because you just think he's a psycho killer that went around killing people. You don't have any of the information. Maybe we should have this conversation."
Yes, I mean, especially if you're
Well, I
going to ask.
agree. I think that should be brought up. I think it should be brought up. Cal's obvious issues would have with the guy he tried to kill.
Well, I also think there's an issue here in that it's not like Kaladin has no room to stand on the killing the corrupt oligarchy that runs your country is wrong, considering his actions in books. I'm going to say 1, 2, and even 3 to an extent. I mean, it's not like this is a guy who didn't look at the light eyes in his own country, conclude they gotta go, and let Moash run around getting vengeance on people. I mean, this isn't a foreign concept to him.
He didn't let them, though.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
He tried to stop Mosh.
well, no, but he let it go to the point that he lost Syl.
Yeah,
So I mean, this isn't a foreign concept to him that he shouldn't be looking at Zeth and going, this is obviously a lunatic who should never be trusted to do anything when he was.
What are you talking about?
Well, here's the thing.
If a bloke comes to
Kaladin
you,
seems like a...
Hold on. Let out.
If
Go
a
ahead,
bloke-
Al. Then.
if a bloke comes to you and says, I'm going to take my sword and I'm going to go home and I'm going to kill everybody. See you later. I was going to do it on my own, but some
You call
arsehole-
the cops.
some assholes making me come with me. You'd think he was fucking crazy. That's fair enough.
Stay home from school tomorrow.
He says
You were always nice to me.
he says to set right what is wrong, to cleanse an evil. To achieve the fourth ideal, a Skybreaker must undertake a crusade of righteous cause.
You have to think of it from Cal's perspective.
I am. He doesn't say I'm going home to kill people. He lays it out for him what he's doing. I don't want you involved. This is me. This is my problem. This is a problem that has beset on me. But Dalinar wants you to come with me. So here's why I'm going. That's so then we immediately turn around and say he's fucking crazy.
No, that's
He's
what
fucking
Kaladin
nuts.
There hasn't been told to him
if
yet.
I'm
so we
being
don't
honest,
know.
I would say the same thing, man.
Yeah. I think Cal's reasonable in saying this, and I think there should be more conversation about it with Cal.
I would pull Dalinar. Okay, if I'm Kaladin, I'm like, I just stopped this guy from killing you last week, right? And then while you were gone with him, a whole bunch of bad stuff happened. Apparently, he killed a god. We just have to take his word for it. And now I have to go on an adventure with him.
Well,
I'm going to pull Dalinar aside and be like, he's kind of crazy, man. Are you sure about this? Okay, I'll go. But
we know he fought in the big battle on their side. So, I mean, it's not like he's... Well, and again, this
that's why
comes...
they trust him.
What information does Kaladin have?
Yeah, that's why he's not objecting completely, right? Like, yeah, I get... Okay, he's saying he's on our side now. Do we trust that? Like,
well,
It's understandable to be hesitant.
Yeah, here's what I think is the real problem. We don't get enough from Kaladin about what info he has and what his main issues with Zeth are, and we don't see them be responded to from Dalinar.
Well,
We need more chapters of Kaladin talking about his feelings.
No, so I think you're right, Sean. I think that's the big problem. I think that's the big problem is we don't have any communication between Dalinar and Kaladin. Dalinar filling in all the things that Zeth has committed to Dalinar and all the things that Dalinar knows about him, about Zeth. So I will agree that that's the part that's missing, because I think that this line would be completely taken different if Dalinar has told Kaladin that, well, one, he's sworn oath to do whatever Dalinar says, and then all the other things that Zeth has confided into Dalinar. So I agree that that's the portion that's probably missing here. So I get what you're saying, that if he stood with this without the information, then fine, then sure, Kaladin might be like, man, he's crazy. But I think this is I don't know. I think it's I personally just the way he comes off, it's like arrogant.
I still think Cal would have an issue with Zeth even after, if less so. Because here's the thing, Kaladin does not think through his feelings or thoughts very much, and he's already gotten an impression of Zeth. And I think that impression's going to last for a while until he learns more about him.
And that's fair. And like, we can even talk about this from a realism of the scene perspective.
Right.
But from a writing and a reader's perspective, it's frustrating to spend time and pages with a character that we like expressing an opinion that we know is wrong about another character that we like, only to spend time backtracking over it, when we could have added 2 lines in here saying Kaladin knew that the Shinovar leadership was corrupt, in that
I think we'll get that, though. Like, I think the point is to you got to start a buddy cough off on the wrong foot.
Well,
I think it could
still
grow,
start
right?
off on the. I think it could have still been accomplished while getting more, like, defining more of the issues from Cal's side, instead of, I don't think he is mentally stable enough for this, sir.
So this is the problem. Is Kaladin says all this stuff, and Dalinar says, "Yeah, help him. You up to it?" Instead of going, you need to know. Hey, Kaladin, you need to know some stuff about Zeth. And here's what you need to know about him. This is the stuff I know about him. So maybe he needs a little help, but you need to know the things that I know before I send you off with him, because you may not know all you think you know. Because that's the problem I have is, yes, go help him. Are you up to it? That's not what Dalinar should be saying.
I found that weird.
When you say that's not what he should be saying, are you talking about the utterly bizarre word choice of "you up to it"?
Help that.
Well, I sure, but I'm just saying this should be more of a filling in your number one guy about what he's getting into with who he's getting into it with, instead of just going, yeah, I need you to go with him and cleanse evil. Are you good? Are you good to go, buddy? Like that's I think this is a missed opportunity for Dalinar to do some, giving him at least an opportunity to know a little bit about Zeth before he goes on a mission with him. So I don't think
Zeth should even be in his mind.
What do you mean?
I don't think him helping Zeth should even be on Dalinar's mind.
No, he should be going to deal with the issue.
He mentioned it.
He should, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Which is what he says later, but why'd you say the other one first? You should be there specifically to just make sure Zeth doesn't fuck something up in his crusade. Which, again, is kind of said, but why did you mention the other shit? Why is this even on your mind? You don't even know what the hell you could do to help the guy, and Cal only helped in just, like, with other people.
I would go so far as to say, if anything, I think, they're going to the same place, but they have 2 very separate missions. Kaladin is there to try and help Ishar and figure out the wind. whereas Zeth is going to purge the heretics, essentially, and Dalinar is hoping that in doing so, he will claim enough of the land that when the battle with Odium happens, he'll have more Shinovar territory. So, if anything, Kaladin talking Zeth down is almost counterproductive to the long-term mission.
Dalinar wants Shinovar. Right? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think there's
It's weird.
There's a lot of I think that's more so I think after us talking about it, I think you're right. You guys are right that I get why he has this line, but I think that's because Dalinar gives this line instead of the proper line, which is explaining some of the stuff about Zeth. Because then we get into months of treatment, and this just like now you're just
It's weird.
now
It's
you're
going
just,
too much into
like,
that weird therapist thing.
yeah, you're going way into therapist Kaladin stuff, which I like. Yeah, we don't.
Which
I
for
don't,
Zeth also is such a weird choice to do. Why Zeth of all people? He's probably one of the like you don't even understand him to understand his mental
look.
state.
It needs to be. Hey, you guys are going in the same direction. Go together. Help each other if you need to. Bye.
Yeah.
Like, right? I mean, it's like, hey, Zeth is about to be the fourth ideal, Skybreaker, our only one. Can you go help him? And maybe he can help you with Ishar.
Yeah, because I mean, if we don't have the meta narrative of knowing that the fans want to see Kaladin and Zeth fighting together,
we'd understand nothing of why they're going together.
Well, I would even say you wouldn't expect them to be together for very long. I mean, they would be together for as long as it takes, Kaladin to find Ishar. So,
I think we're reading a lot into this, like especially with like, and I've said it too. Like, yes, there are little things here and there that get me worried and scared, and we definitely have a right to be scared. We've seen all of our favorite franchises go woke, right? And
Sanderson has shown evidence in many places, not just here.
And it's definitely a possibility here, and I hope with all of my heart that doesn't happen. But also at the same time, there's precedent there. I also think we're reading into it because we've seen it happen time and time again. We're terrified that it's going to happen here. But in this case, like there are explanations for these things. Like, yeah, it's a classic formula in a buddy cop movie. You got to start off with them hating each other, and then they grow to become friends.
Well, it's my.
Well, we're not complaining about them hating each other. We're complaining about how the scene went down.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
They don't trust each other. They're barely communicating.
Again, I'm not disagreeing with all. Like I get it.
They're opposites, sort of like smushed together. I get what Alan's saying, and he's right. But it's one of those. It's a little clunky starting. My hope is we get to Shinovar. And Kaladin sees all these fucking people being mistreated.
Let's do it.
And Kaladin goes fucking full on Windrunner.
It's gonna be slavery, right?
I hope
that's his trigger. Like he's gonna see slaves and be like.
And I hope it's bad.
All right,
like that sounds really bad. Me saying that, but I hope it's really bad. Like you got humans chained together and shit, and Kaladin just goes, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Let's do it.
And fucking just like goes, full fifth ideal, right? Like that's my hope is like we get there and it's just bad.
We don't know anything about what the ideal is yet, right? The fifth one.
No. Well, I mean, I get if
I am become wind.
It's got to be something, right? Because he has to become protection incarnate, right? So
that's where the wind went. That answers the question. You're right, Alan.
The wind just disappears because he claims the fifth ideal.
It's like there's no wind except for Kaladin's wake.
it only blows when Kaladin moves.
Yes, farts in a certain direction. um.
The
So
wind
let's
is
see
my
here.
cape.
I can smell Kaladin coming.
Oh Jesus, yeah. So all right. So let's see.
Reminds
Here.
me of home.
That sentence
function here.
needs so much context.
Which one?
I know.
Where are we?
I can smell Kaladin coming.
Oh.
Reminds
Oh,
me
man.
of home. Kaladin said it's more humid there than on the plains. It is. I don't know why that sentence drives me crazy. Like I don't know why him talking about humidity. I know Kaladin is not exactly this like stoic
Yeah.
guy, but I don't know. Humid isn't a word that I
yeah.
associate with kind of high fantasy, if that makes sense.
I
Well,
think
would
it's
you rather-
fine.
Would you rather moist?
I
I don't care about the human.
I don't know.
I
The
think
nice
the
Rather
humid one is
moist up
fine.
here, Dalinar.
the
I'm
nice
dripping wet seeing you.
the Knights of King Arthur don't talk about.
Well, it's good that we're not. Knights of King
Yeah,
Arthur
you're right.
also didn't carry
I
12-foot long shard blades, so I mean,
I guess I don't know. I found it to be just a very strange piece of dialogue.
can I ask a weird off the cuff question? Oh, sorry, did you say something now, Dan? You were a little quiet, couldn't you? Okay. It's off the. It has nothing to do with this. Are creation Spren, Lightweaver, armor?
What?
Are they what?
Yeah,
Our
I think that
creation
would track.
Spren,
Yeah,
Lightweaver,
sure.
armor. Because every time Shallan goes crazy
Yeah.
drawing shit, a whole bunch of creation Spren gather around her, similar
would
to
be.
Wind Spren.
It
So
would
are
be.
creation Spren going to be her armor?
They could
Yes.
be, yeah.
And we do
Pro-
know it is creation Spren were noted in this chapter, which might be her armor.
Just like Glory Spren are going to be Dalinar's armor,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be sick.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, is
That would be
that
awesome.
because
That'd be sick.
because
Love that.
Glory Spren tend to gather around Dalinar, so
Do
Yeah.
do we? I guess I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but do we think Dalinar dies this book?
oof.
I hope not.
Yeah, we can
but
talk
maybe.
about it.
I don't know about dies. but
Well, hold
I
on. So that comes
could-
back to your death rattle, right, Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get there in 2 seconds.
We can talk about it now if there's unless there's something else that you
I
wanted
mean,
to
that's
talk about.
the next thing, right? King
Yeah.
Kaladin.
King
King
Kaladin.
Kaladin. So yeah, so yeah, go ahead. Was there some you just posing the question, Alan, or is there something?
Yeah.
Else?
Well, because I mean,
Well, did you hear us talking about the death rattle or no?
we talked about it for 2 hours yesterday.
Oh, okay, sweet.
We-
Sorry, I'm sorry. Shit, I apologize.
And I mean, none of it got streamed. I mean, it's
I'm
probably
sorry.
it's really good that conversation wasn't live because your channel would be no longer monetizable.
Why? Because you said fuck a few times.
No,
You
we
do that
got
all the
into
time.
some politics.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I apologize again. I'm sorry.
Man.
Yes, that I think that's exactly where we agreed. I think that's where we landed with all that conversation. But, so I hope he doesn't die. But
He doesn't have to die. He just has. He doesn't necessarily have to die, right? Like he just has to be out of the way. So he could lose and end up being Odin's bitch as well, right?
well, I do like that he touches on something in here where he's missing. He feels like he's missing something with this duel, which is something we talked about last stream. That the duel
Yeah.
isn't. He's missing something. It's not. He's got the tickling in the back of his brain that he is being manipulated, and he doesn't know how, and he doesn't know what the fuck. Right?
Hmm.
So I
He
was
also-
glad he touched on that.
It's my turn to
He
do
also-
victory laps this time, huh?
Yes, sir.
He also mentions that he thinks it's unlikely to be one of swords, which makes us wonder what kind of challenge this is going to be.
Yeah, I could be wrong about that. My type of but
There's gonna be a soft like House of the Dragon season 2. Hopefully not.
It's not
Um,
gonna be like-
I think
Articus had a good. Dalinar becomes honor.
So I think Kaladin is going to become Honor,
Okay.
but I think that's more because of Syl than anything. I still think Syl is something's going on with Syl. She's different. Don't know why.
But we have
So-
Kaladin is also different. Son of Tenavast.
So I don't think it makes as much sense for Dalinar to become Honor as it does Kaladin, but either is feasible. I mean, there was a point where I'm still if he did, I wouldn't be surprised either, right? So,
Honor does not have a vessel right now, right?
well, Honor is
Nope.
presumed
We also-
dead.
Well, Honored of Tenavast
well,
is definitely dead, most
But
likely.
the shard
is
still has
splintered.
to exist. Yeah. Oh,
Yes, but
okay.
it's splintered and currently unable to be taken up.
Got
But
it.
it has been constantly implied in places that it could possibly be repeated.
Yeah. I mean, we do have a bondsmith, so put it back together.
I wonder if it.
I don't
wonder if
Maybe
that's
the
what-
Dawn shards.
I wonder if
come into
that's
play.
why there's never been 3.
There's been 3.
Could very well be.
I thought there was only
I
ever
believe the
2 to-
reason is because of the spren. You need to bond specific type of spren to be a bondsmith. Bond higher level.
Hold on, I thought there was only been ever 2 bondsmith at a time.
No, 3.
Has there been?
Tower,
a third?
Stormfather, and Nightwatcher.
Well, yes. I know there's 3, but I'm saying
At the
I'm
same
saying
time.
that there's never been 3 bonded in the same rotation.
None
I
of it
think
has.
Stormfather has said never more than 3 at a time.
That's
But I'm
accurate.
pretty sure. But hold on. But I have to look it up because I'm pretty sure. I swear I read it somewhere that all 3 have not that all 3 bondsmith have not been on the board in any incarnation after the Oath Pact.
Okay.
Yes, but that doesn't mean 3 never been together at the same time before.
That's what I just that's what I just said.
I don't know, mate. You're confusing me.
So I will have to look up to see if that reference is available because I swear I read that somewhere. That,
Yeah,
that
I haven't-
all three are possible, but never all 3 have been bonded at the same time.
Yeah, see,
But I'm not sure.
I haven't heard that, but I definitely have a memory of it saying somewhere that that never more than 3.
Right.
That's all I remember.
Okay.
Um,
So I'll have to see if I can find it because I swear that there was something else. But okay, moving on. So let's see here. So all right. So what else is there? So Tower Light. Did something happen when he was there some significance to him looking at the tower from the mountain? Trying to look through.
By the way, I looked it up. It says no more than 3 full members at a time.
Okay, so there. Okay,
So Ishtar has been referred to as a bondsmith unbounded.
Because of the shard blade.
yeah, because he's not bound to a spren. He's.
So he wouldn't. So
I guess he doesn't count.
yeah, that's I guess
No, it's because he can use it however he likes.
Right, but yes, but does he count? So okay, so are we talking sibling bonded, Stormfather bonded, Ishar? That's what Alex is saying.
That I actually don't know. Good point.
Okay, right? Or does he not count? And it's the 3 plus him. So that's the other question. So so I'll have to look up. I'll have to look it up. I swear I read it somewhere that all 3 hadn't been, but I'll double check.
Isn't Dalinar having the conversation with Kaladin right here, by the way? Isn't he feeling Kaladin in right now on this Zeth stuff? Isn't that
Let's
literally
see.
happening right here? on this-
kind of. He refers to it as a difficult case, but
I don't think he's not filling them in very good. He either thinks that or he thinks he's. I don't know where we got the impression that Zeth thinks he's the Almighty himself.
No,
Ishtar.
Ishar.
It's Ishar.
Oh! Sorry. Wait. Each weapon down.
Ishar's crazy.
Oh,
he
Ishar is
said
definitely crazy. Oh,
something
Ishar,
like
there
that,
he is.
yeah.
No, sorry, I missed I didn't see the Ishar thing.
I,
Sorry.
I actually really
Ishar
I
is
really like
definitely-
this. It's
I
the inverse of Wheel of Time, right?
Yeah.
Where the bad guy thinks he's actually the devil.
Yeah.
I think this is really fun.
No, Ishar, the Ishar stuff hopefully is going to be really cool. Like, because he's a damn lunatic, but lunatics can be fun, right?
Yep.
let's
He's the most
see.
insane of them. Besides, like,
Articus says, "Oh, he's by." I wonder if that's something too. There, Shai, what you just said, because he's the most insane, and yet he's the most powerful. So I wonder if there's a connection there.
no idea. I like the idea that seemed to be proposed that all of the insanities with the heralds are an inverse of what they normally did as heralds. Because we have Ash destroying art, specifically of herself, constantly, as like how her insanity forms. And then we have Ishi creating a lot of friction and strife when he used to be a bondsmith, which is all
Dividing.
about uniting.
Yeah, he's dividing instead of uniting.
I actually don't hate that, because
I like that actually.
when people tend to have those breaks, they do kind of tend to break.
Well, Collect. So what was Collect? Because Collect is a full-on coward right now. So what Collect was what Stoneward? Wait, what was Collect?
I think Kalek was logic, and now he's paralyzed by these.
Fear.
I wouldn't say he's a coward. Like what he said in the last chapter was really interesting. The whole look, I can see so many glimpses into the future that I can see myself helping and ruining it at the same time. So
that was good. Yeah.
It's not cowardice.
You're right.
He's crippled by indecision.
Yes. No, you're right. Coward wasn't the right word. You're absolutely correct.
Wait.
What was
So
he the herald
Kalek
of?
is he's part of Will Shapers, and the philosophy of Will Shapers was free to make their own choices.
So
Free
yeah,
personal
inside-
fulfillment and stuff.
So I the more we're looking into that, the more I'm liking that. I think where'd you hear it? That's a good theory. If that's yours or wherever you found it, I'm liking that too.
I forget
That's
where
good.
I read it.
So I like that. That seems to be tracking quite well. But Articus says the reason I do not think it's Cal is because in Sunlit Man, the MC thinks of Cal as a man still. Someone lost part.
This is in reference to you saying Kaladin becomes Honor.
Becoming Honor. Yeah, I'm assuming so.
And I think I agree.
I don't think that. I that's fine.
I think he's right.
but-
Because Kaladin's going to be the king anyway, so he can't. I don't think he can be king and reforge honor at the same time.
It's fair enough. We'll see what happens.
That just seems like the logical place to take Dalinar.
Maybe Syl becomes Honor.
That's more likely.
But
Okay.
I don't know.
That could work too.
I feel like Syl, ancient Honor, the last of her generation. There's something there. I just
She
feel
keeps
like
bringing up that she's a princess.
There's just something. There's something there that just is tickling my brain.
The only problem is she's going to be like Cal's queen though. Like by the end of this, she's going to be.
I
the
hope
queen.
not. Don't do that.
Also,
Dude,
think
Give me one
Stop
second.
living in denial. It's gonna happen.
your heralds need to be. I don't mean to say studs, but your heralds need to be people that rock up and fight every time they're called upon to do it, and that doesn't strike me as Syl.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's true.
Sorry. Well,
That is
there's also the possibility that Cal was actually there in Sunlit Man. So just saying.
What do you mean?
There's a possibility that
What do you mean?
that there's a possibility that the storm it was actually Cal and
There was wind on that planet.
so Cal. Well, yeah, because Cal was there. That's where the
Cal
wind
is just a wind on every planet.
Yeah.
came. Cal. So Nomad caught a glimpse of what he thought was Kaladin, and there was in this windstorm. So there you go. Boom. Theory confirmed. He did. What do you? I'm not saying that means anything. He probably was just seeing things, but you know,
Well,
he
he
thought he
also-
saw Kaladin.
He also did think it was Kaladin. Oh yeah, no, never mind. That was stupid. That was just saying the same thing that Articus said.
So, but you're probably right. But all
I
right.
thought I had a point, and it was just a different way of saying what he'd already said. as it was coming out, I realized that's not different.
Who was Cal to do this? The only person available. I don't like that, but that's okay.
Is that the first time? Is that the first time Steele's referred to Dalinar as Sir? By the way,
Yes,
you reckon?
as far as I know,
Probably.
I think so. I don't know that we haven't. I think that's the first time we've seen Syl interact directly with Dalinar at all.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not sure if there's been another instance or not. Let's see. House Stormblessed officially has lands. Okay, yeah. So this is where we get into King Kaladin and him. Now, this is what he's offering him basically the crown of Urithiru, not Alekthar. I always can't pronounce that. So that's why I don't
How
think.
would that work?
I think
He has
Yassa's
lands
safe.
in Alpitar.
Who?
That would be a little bizarre.
They
Being
both
the-
have. They both have lands in there, right? So
I
Dalinar
think
already
Dalinar
has
gave his
lands
up
there.
though for
Oh,
Yasna.
did he? Well, then
I would
he-
assume
then
so, because how would
Kaladin
it
could
work
give-
otherwise?
So Kaladin will give his up. Like, I mean,
I
same
think
so
I think this is one of those things that when you're Kaladin Stormblessed, Slayer of Odium, nobody's gonna give you too much shit if
you own the land. All the land is now mine, motherfucker. He just builds a giant fucking throne on top of Urithiru and throws lightning bolts down at the ground.
I was gonna
He
say
ascends to becoming the wind and says, "I'm king of everywhere." By the way,
I
because
will put out
everywhere
your
is where I
candle.
am.
Yeah.
yeah, all I'm gonna say is
Everything the wind touches is mine.
if I'm the local guardsman, I'm not gonna be the one that has to go tell Kaladin he's evicted and has to get out.
So Alden, what do you think is going to turn him into away from all considerate, basically a no right now? What do you think is gonna what do you think is gonna turn him from basically no, because he's at a no right now?
Syl's gonna talk him out of it.
No,
Talk him
I
into
think.
it.
I think it will
Shinobu's
be.
leaders.
Yeah, I think it will be circumstance. I think it will be the only way that he'll like, because he won't want to do it. There's 100% he won't want to do it. But like, it'll be circumstance at the end. It'll be like there'll be no one else, and he'll have to do it to whatever.
So
I think he might also learn something after being at Shinovar.
Yes,
because he has
okay,
to learn something.
yeah,
and
okay,
he might be corrupt leader.
Right, so that's exactly what I think is going to happen. So it's going to be Zeth to convince him after they become best friends. But I think that's Shai hit it exactly. I think Kaladin's going to go there. The state of Shinovar is going to be completely horrible, and Kaladin's going to realize the best way to protect the most amount of people is to be a good king,
Right?
and he's going to take
That
it
would
and
be
be
a
like,
good arc.
I can
That would be
protect. I can protect all of Roshar as the king of the mightiest kingdom.
the
Best.
king of the most powerful weapons on Rorschach too, right? Like,
Right.
it's the
I
king
can
of the hell.
protect-
king of the
I can
radiance,
protect. I can help protect everybody by making sure this doesn't happen anywhere else.
Oh, this fifth idea. Did we just work out his fifth idea? That's probably what that's going to be.
What I can protect as king.
Fifth ideal: get into politics.
I shall protect with an iron fist as king of fucking the world. No,
Well,
I don't
we've had-
know. But
We've had, that this actually makes a lot of sense because we have had like allusions to, like throughout all of the books so far, with like Dalinar and like not wanting to ever be a king because of because of who he is, and him being a tyrant at heart, sort of thing, or whatever. And that's been like a bit of a theme for that this is not the way to be a king, sort of thing. He's even had that conversation with Wit at times. So for Kaladin to pick up a mantle like that for a different reason would be fitting.
And I'd also like to mention that the Windrunner Herald, I believe, was the Herald of Kings.
Yes. Yes, Ren.
Wait, say that again. I missed that.
Oh,
I believe the Windrunner Herald was the Herald of Kings.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yazeraza is the Herald of Kings. 100%. Yes. 100%.
Interesting.
So,
It's
all right,
cute.
I know gotta get out of here. We're just about to start to wrap up, anyways. If anybody had anything else to say, before we took off, I feel like we've rounded out pretty good. Does anybody have anything else they want to touch on before we go? I know, Alex, you got to get out of here first, so start with you.
No, I think we in the last 2 hours we've knocked pretty much all of it out. We could talk Cosmere deep lore for another 6 hours, I'm sure, but
Yeah, probably.
try and
Which
keep
is
it
what
simple.
makes it great. No, that's why it's great. That's why I love it. Alden, anything from you, sir?
nah, I just love this idea of King Kaladin, mate. I just love it.
Yeah, I think the Shinovar thing. I hope it happens. I do. We'll see.
It's happening.
I hope so.
I'm gonna manifest that. I'm gonna reach into the spiritual realm using fortune and manifest that right in.
Absolutely, King Kaladin protecting the world on his throne at Urithiru. I like it. I can dig it. Shy, how you doing? Anything you got that we missed, or you want to touch on real quick?
Nothing major.
Okay.
So I will say, I've mentioned concerns with all these chapters. I'm gonna, no matter what, read through it before saying to or fro, because he's earned my fate. Sanderson with Cosmere, they've all been very good generally. Even the one I will never reread again.
Yeah.
It's just currently a little concerning.
Look, I always feel like he builds. I always feel like it builds and builds and builds, and by the end, the dude knows. I've always said the dude knows how to finish a book. I always feel like no matter where we start, the end is always excellent. So
I've seen him fail at that is the problem. So again, I always will be a little concerned, but he has the fate to see it until the ending.
Good, cool. Alan, what you got, man?
I'm liking it. I'm slightly worried, but I have more faith than fear. And I think the only thing we're missing so far is a lift chapter where she shows up and "Oi, governor, you want a biscuit?" And
I need you got a ham bone there? I don't know why.
It's the only thing making this not perfect for me is I need more.
Grumbling.
I need more lift.
More lift. Okay. Well,
By the way,
if they get the
we
audiobooks
mentioned-
just in time for the first lift chapter,
oh god.
talk about
By the
perfect
way,
time.
Like
actually
she needs to have like a Cockney accent, right? Like that would just fit.
no.
All right, Shy, real quick, what were you gonna say?
We mentioned we thought Yasuna would be writing the epigraphs for Zeth
Yeah.
and Cal. Do we think she's joining them then?
No, I think
No,
this is
she's
going to be like he's
She's
going to
just a
come back.
scholar.
She's going to come back and sort of debrief. This is going to be like a
Yep.
debrief sort of
Yeah, I've got it.
situation.
I've got a note saying that like this is like interview with a vampire with with Zeth and Cal. So
Well, because what's going to happen? Here's what's going to happen.
So you went off to Shinovar and became the wind.
Like,
Can you? I need some.
So here's what's going to happen. They're going to cleanse Shinovar. They're going to claim the honor blades. They're going to throw those things out. They're going to warp into Kolinar, wipe out Kolinar, take Kolinar, and they'll own the board before the fight. And then Yasuo will be like, "Fuck, man, we gotta debrief you guys. That was a lot."
I'm just imagining Yasna is loyal now. Kaladin, you're so hasty. How am I supposed to write all this down?
Stop! It's too fast. I will say that like talking through these has also been helpful with just doubts or like I feel like if I'm feeling a little bit bad about something, we talk through it pretty good and come out feeling better at the other side. So so sorry about last night. Thanks everybody for being here tonight. I feel like it was I thought it was a great chat. I had everybody had lots of good stuff to say and add in here. Chat was awesome as always. Darcy, awesome input, I gotta say, the whole time. Some great takes. Bido too, and Articus, of course. Good to see you, DJ.
Don't worry about yesterday. I'm used to waiting. It's been like a year since we talked about doing an Elric stream. So
Who's Elric? What's an Elric?
Who the fuck
True.
is Elric?
True. We
All right,
just need to set a
guys,
date.
I'm getting summoned.
All right, go. Everybody, go over
no,
to
Steve,
us.
you need to set a date, and we'll.
I'll talk. We'll talk. We got to get it. We got to get it done. I definitely got to get it done for you. So we'll figure it out. My fucking schedule, man. Yeah, but no, we need to make it a priority. So, yeah. So thanks everybody for being here. Go over, give Zach a thumbs up for his What's Good Wednesday, and we'll see you for sure. I think I'm doing a Wheel of Time stream tomorrow. There's some stupid ass articles out there, so that's where I live. So.
Gross.
Yeah, and yeah. Until then, we'll see you guys next time. Next
Bye.
week. Bye.